All righty. Well, hello, my name is Bill Lucero. I am from the Save Go Voter Project. I am a Latino with brown hair, brown eyes, goatee. I have a red polo shirt on that says, what was it again? Uh, I shape the history every time I vote.
All right. All right. I'm Ronaldo Fowler. I'm with the Arizona Center for Disability Law, which is Arizona's Protection and Advocacy. I am the coordinator of the Protection and Advocacy for Voting Access at the Arizona Center for Disability Law. We call it ACDL. So I may say ACDL, that's the Arizona Center for Disability Law. I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy Saturday schedule to attend this important conference to learn a lot. And we really appreciate you attending this session to learn about your voting rights. We're going to try to make it a little bit of fun. We're going to do something a little bit different than some of you've been to maybe some of our trainings before. We're going to try to make this educational and fun and insightful for you folks. So, all right, Juliana. So I have a, before we get started, is there anyone uh, on this training, at this training today that's not registered to vote? But you're eligible to vote, but you have not registered to vote. Is there anyone, if you can put chat or just say, I'm not eligible to vote, or I'm eligible to vote. Is everybody registered to vote?
On the
Yes?
chat. Nothing in the chat yet.
Okay. Has anyone ever used accessible voting equipment when voting? No? All right. Let's go ahead, Juliana. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Bill, do you want to do the introductory and Juliana tell him what we're doing today, how we're going to do everything today?
Yeah, so if anyone is familiar with the game Jeopardy, that is what we're going to be doing today. It's again, like Ronaldo was saying, this is a different type of presentation than we normally do. We usually do our PowerPoint presentation, but we kind of wanted to make something a little fun today because we'll be in meetings all day. So we try to do Jeopardy style game where you guys can still learn about the specific topics that we picked today for about voting. But yeah, it's pretty much the same rules as Jeopardy. How do we want to do the choosing of the topics?
So we can have different people from the audience pick one, and then you guys can read it out loud and then give a chance for everybody to answer it and see if everybody has the same answer at the end.
Okay.
For the first one, maybe one of you can start it off so that people can have an idea of how we're going to do it.
Yeah, so we can do let's do voting laws for 200.
Okay.
So what we have here as the question is you can request a new ballot if you make a mistake. Is that true or false? And again, you guys can either raise your guys' hand, you guys can write it in the chat, or you guys can use your guys' voice and say true or false.
We got true. How many? We got one true. How many more do we have? Anybody? Just it's a good guess. You can request it, a new ballot if you make a mistake. Is that true or false? So if you're trying to vote, you make a mistake, can you ask the poll worker, can you have a new ballot? Is that correct? Yes or no? So how many people have given answers? All right. Okay. All right.
This is Elton. I would say true.
Okay, Alton says true. Any more truths? Any false out there? All right. So, Bill, let's see what the answer is. The
So
answer
yes,
is true.
yeah. So what is true?
The answer is true. So, really, what's important is remember this: if you make a ballot, a mistake on a ballot, that means when you're voting, you can ask someone to say, "Hey, I made a mistake. Can I have a new ballot?" Okay. So this is how we're going to do the game. So anyone else? Alton, do you want to call on? I just want to call anybody. Matthew, Austin, you guys want to call something out?
Um, Ronaldo, this is Elton. I think I don't know how many of us that are in the room that are blind, so we won't be able to see what's on the screen. So I
Okay,
think like
thank you, Alton.
about the categories that'll be great.
Okay, so Alton, we have poll workers, civil engagement, vote laws, vote information. So we have those are the different topics. Then what we do is, if you're familiar with Jeopardy, we have a first line of all of those topics are 100 points. The second line is 200. The third line is 300. The fourth line is 400. And the fifth line is 500. So the titles are poll workers, civil engagement, vote laws, vote information. So 1 through 5. And so one is $100 and the last one, the highest one is $500. Okay?
Okay, did you say there was engagement?
Civil engagement is one of
Yeah.
them.
Okay, I'll
Poll
take
workers.
for
Okay,
one.
go ahead, Alton.
We'll do civil engagement for 100.
All right.
So we have
Who
oh,
is who is the governor of Arizona? Who is the governor of Arizona right now? Ding, 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 ding.
I'll say Governor Hobbs.
Absolutely. That's $100 for you. All right. Who is okay. You won't read that one. All right. All right. Let me before we go get started, let me go over those again. So it's poll workers, civil engagement, vote laws, and vote information, voter information. Who wants to who wants to be the next person? Just kind of go ahead and say it or put it in the chat. We got Austin, Isabella, Debbie. Which one? All
so we got
right.
poll workers for 100.
All right. Go ahead, Bill. You want to do that one?
Yes. So poll workers are people who, and we have A, work at a post office, B, run elections, or C, climbs trees. So those are the three answers that you guys can pick for this question.
Okay. We
That'll
we
be
got
me for the answer. This is Elton again.
Elton.
Sorry,
I'm
so we have
sorry, I
two for
missed your
B.
question.
Oh no, he said it was B for
B. Okay.
his answer.
And I think who else said B? Andrew said B. All right. Yes, a poll worker is a person that runs election. Those are the people that you see when you go get your ballot. They are your poll workers. Good answer. All right. All right. Again, the topics are poll workers, civil engagement, vote laws, voter information. Who's next? Austin, Isabella, Debbie, which one? Austin, let's do vote information for 100. Do you want to cover that one?
Yes. So, excuse me. What is HAVA? So we have A, Happy American Vacation Always. We have B, Help America Vote Act. C, how active voters are. We have D, Hope American Vote Act. So out of those four, what does HAVA stand for?
B. Okay, Isabella says B. Allison says A. B. All right. And the answer is it's Help America Vote Act. Help
Yes.
America Vote Act is a law that was passed in 2002, and it was designed to overhaul the election system and to improve it in the United States. And so, as a part of the Help America Vote Act, if you're a voter with a disability, you have some additional protections under that act, which is to have a private and independent vote and have full access to the electoral process and casting a vote, registering a vote, and accessing polling places. So that's the short version of the Help America Vote Act. All right. Next, who's next? We still have some big money on the table. All right. Vote laws for 100. Bill, you want to grab that one?
Yes. So only U.S. citizens can vote. Is that A, true? B, false?
Okay.
We have
I
two
do.
A's.
We got two A's. Anybody got B's? Any B's or just all A's? All right, Bill, let's see what the answer is. The answer is true. It's very
Yes.
important that if you're not a U.S. citizen, please do not try to vote. That will have some really serious consequences on it if you're trying to become a U.S. citizen and you were arrested or accused of trying to vote without being a U.S. citizen. So it's really important that you not vote only if you're a U.S. citizen. Okay. All right, Bill. So the topics again, everyone, poll workers, civil engagement, vote laws, vote information. Who wants to pick something?
Civil engagement for 200, please.
All right. So we have the question here. What is civil engagement? And you guys can either write in the chat or you guys can say it. Or civic, sorry. What did I say?
Civic engagement. You get what is civic engagement? Just give some examples, just some ideas that you think civil engagement is. You have anything in the chat yet?
No, not yet.
Alton, you want to give it a shot?
Engaging with, I believe.
We got a couple of answers in the chat box, if you guys want to read those.
So it involves with issues in the community or helping the community, participating in your community and government.
Any more? Yeah, engage in the community, specifically involving the legal process. All right, let's show the answer, Bill.
So what is the voting process where a voter is active before, during, and after?
And also, civil engagement can be if you um, live in a city and there are things going on in your city that you don't like. You can go to city council meetings. You can go to school board meetings. You can go to your legislature. So it's a lot of different activities around civil engagement. That means that if you see something, say something and reach out to your election officials, your city officials. So that's what civil engagement is. All right, great answers. All right, so here we go again. Let me read this out. We have poll workers, and we have civil engagement, and we have vote laws and vote information. So for poll workers, we still have 200, 300, 400, and 500 open. For civic engagement, we still have 300, 400, and 500. For vote laws, we have 300, 400, and 500. And for vote information, we still have 200, 300, 400, and 5. All right, so there's someone in the chat, Bill, that wants number. Which one do they want?
It was poll workers for 200. And I think she already pulled it up. So can you request help from a poll worker? We have A
Yes.
for yes or B for no. And so far we have two A's. Not totally sure, but I think it is an A.
The answer is yes. You may ask the poll worker for assistance, okay? But that poll worker cannot tell you what to do or how to vote or really explain a lot of things to you, okay? Just keep that in mind because they cannot influence your vote. All right. Again, we have poll worker and we have 300 left, 400 left, 500 left. Civic engagement, we have 300, 400, and 500. Vote laws, we have 300, 400, 500. And for vote information, we have 200, 300, 400, and 500. And someone is Austin.
Okay, so we have who is Arizona's chief election official?
Who is Arizona's chief, one person, election official? Do anybody know that person? Any answers yet? I'm going to give you guys a hint. He's from Nogales. He's from Nogales, Arizona. Arizona's chief election officials. How many, do we get some guesses, Bill? Anything in the chat?
So far we have here. I do not. Is it
Okay.
Hobbs?
Let's see the answer, guys. Who is Secretary of State Adrian Fontes? Recorder, he used to be a recorder of Maricopa County. Now he's Secretary of State for Arizona. He's actually from Nogales, Arizona. Okay. Everybody understand what the Secretary of State does. He's the person that makes sure that we coordinate things in Arizona and make sure everything runs smoothly with all of our different counties. And he's a point of reference about voting. Okay. All right, let me go over this one more time, guys. Poll workers, we have 400, we have 500. Civic engagement, we have 300, 400, and 500. And vote laws, we have 300, 400, and 500. Vote information, 200, 300, and 400, and 500. And guys, remember, you don't have to go in order. If you want to go for the 500, the 400, you don't have to go, 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and pick. Anybody picked anything yet, Bill?
No, not yet.
All right, guys, pick the big money.
Let's go with poll worker for 500.
All right, that's what I like.
Okay, so which is not a supervisor at a polling location? We have A, inspector, B, police, C, judge, D, marshal.
Which is not a supervisor at a polling location. Okay, we got C there. We got two C's. Go ahead. Come on, give it a guess. Give it a good try. All
Tough.
right.
So we got C, we have A.
Who is not a supervisor at the polling location? The important word is who, which is not. All right, Bill. Let's give an answer.
All right,
The
so who
police.
is, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Bill.
So who is the police?
So the police is not a supervisor at the polling locations. Okay, we should not have police anywhere inside a polling booth except for enforcing a law if somebody calls something. But police, you may see them around the polling location for safety purposes. But when you go to a polling location, and if you have a problem voting, the machine might be off, you feel that the poll worker is rude to you, things are not going well at the polling location, counties have different names for these individuals. They're going to be called an inspector, judge, or marshal. These are the people that are in charge of your polling locations, not the police department. That's very important, okay? Any questions about that? All right. So let me read this again. So for poll workers, we have 400 left. Civic engagement, we have 300 left, 400 left, 500 left. Vote laws, we have 300, 400, and 500. And we have vote information, 200, 300, 400, and 500. And I just saw, Bill, someone said 500.
Yes, so vote info for 500.
Vote information for 500.
All right, so we have where can you vote in person? We have A, voting center, B, precincts, C, polling locations, D, we have chapter houses, or E, all answers are correct. So we got two E's so far.
All right, Bill. We want to give the, okay. The E?
Yeah, so what
Okay.
is all answers are correct?
All answers are correct. Okay. For those, that's exactly. So, is there anyone in the audience that would like to? There's a question in the chat. Explain what a chapter house is. Do anyone want to share what a chapter house is?
Ronaldo, this is Elton. I'm from
Elton,
North
go ahead,
Dakota.
Elton.
I'm from the Navajo tribe. We do have
Mhm.
chapter houses here on the Navajo Nation, and our Navajo Nation does have 110 chapters. Chapter houses are usually a place, I would say, like maybe the city hall if you're living in a city. Is something similar to that. We have like different locations where they have chapter houses. Like Tuba City has one chapter, and then the surrounding communities that are smaller, they have their own chapters as well. But each chapter are, like I said, on Navajo Nation has 110 chapter houses, basically.
Okay, thank you, Alton. I appreciate it. So it's really important. One of the things I want to stress for everyone, elections are ran by local officials. I know people watch news, national news, and get information from the national news, but it's so important that you, what we like to call them trusted election officials in Arizona, our Secretary of State, right? Arizona Clean Elections, and you're going to have your county recorders, right? And your election directors. And also, as Alton mentioned, the Navajo Nation has their own elections department. So you reach out to the Navajo Nations about, the chapter houses and when they run their elections, okay? So I want everybody to realize elections are ran at the chapter house level, the county levels, and administrated by the states, okay? So that's really important that we all understand that. Thank you. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go over this again. We got poll workers, we got 400 left. Civic engagement, we still have 300, 400, and 500. Vote laws, we have 300, 400, 500. Vote information, we have 200, 300, and 400. We still got some of that big money on the table. All right. Who wants to pick something out? Who wants to
Let's
select?
finish the poll workers category, please.
Okay.
So the question
Bill.
is, can the poll worker explain issues on the ballot? So we have A for yes, B, no, C, they can only they can only read it to you.
All right.
So
Anybody got
nothing.
any good guesses? Anybody?
We have a C, two C's,
Okay.
three.
All right. All right, Bill, let's see the answer.
Okay, so what is they can only read it to you? So yeah, so you guys got that one right.
So, guys, why do you think the poll worker cannot, can't explain things to you? Why do you think that? Why do you think a poll worker can't try to explain a ballot and the issues to you? Why do you think that? Yes. Mhm. So answers that we're seeing in the chat, they're biased. They can try to influence you, give you the wrong information. That's correct. So that's why the poll worker can only read and not explain. People may get frustrated with it, but the only thing that they can do is read it, because if they start trying to explain things to you and it's incorrect, they may influence you or deliberately try to influence your vote. All right. That's a tough one. That's a tough answer. All right. All right, guys. So we are done with poll workers. Let's go to civic engagement. We still have 300, 400, 500 civic engagement. Vote laws, we have 300, 400, and 500 left. Vote information, we have 200, 300, and 400. All right. We still have some big money on the table. Anybody want to pick?
Vote information for 300.
All right, so the question is, may you request accommodations to vote? We have A, true, B, false. So we have two A's so far, three.
A, true.
So we
True.
have four
Okay.
A's.
Okay. All right, Bill. Let's see the answer.
So what is
Answer
true?
is true. So, during the whole process of, remember, it's just not about voting. If you are a voter and you would like to receive large print materials, the booklet, you can ask the county. Also, you can use the accessible vote machine, or you can receive your ballot in Braille, okay? And when you go to vote, a lot of those polling locations are to have magnifying devices so you can see in addition to the voting equipment. All right, everybody got that answer right. All right, next bill. All right, so we still have civic engagement. We have 300, 400, and 500. Vote laws, we still have 300, 400, and 500. And we have vote information, we have 200 and 400. And I see, is it Austin? Go ahead, 400. He wants civil engagement for 400. All right, Bill, we'll go ahead and cover that.
Yes, so Disability Voting Rights Week and National Voter Registration Day are celebrated in which month? So we have A, January, B, September, C, December, or did I say, well, yeah, or D, February.
All right, guys. When is Disability Voting Rights Week and National Voter Registration Day? What month are they celebrated in?
So we have
Not
B,
sure. B, go ahead.
so two B's.
Anybody want to just kind of guess it out? Alton, anybody? Andrew, anybody? All right.
One of the follow, and it says B near to December.
All right. So let's give the answer.
So what is September?
September. So guys, Disability Voting Rights Week and National Voter Registration Day are celebrated in September. We're going to be having some trainings around these two different holidays or sponsored days. So really keep in mind the self-advocates and our partners are going to be doing some trainings around in September around Disability Voting Rights Week and National Voter Registration Day. All right. All right. So civic engagement, we have 300 and 500. Vote laws, we have 300, 400, and 500. Vote information, 200 and 400. All right, guys, we still have some big money on the table. All right.
So we have voting laws for 400.
All right. Andrew's won't vote laws. Okay, go ahead.
Arizona requires identification ID to vote in person. Is it true or false? So you have A, two A's, three A's.
Any more?
Not yet.
Right. There we go. So let's give the answer.
So what is true?
It is true. Very important, everyone. So it's just not ID. Arizona require you to have certain types of ID. I'm going to name a couple off. Your driving license and your state issued non-drive voter ID. Also, there's some tribal ID. If you really want to know what ID you take with you, because they have to have pictures on it, you can go to the Secretary of State's website and they will give you a list of all the ID that's accepted when voting. Okay, so that's very important. Driving license or state issued ID, and there's also tribal ID and other forms of ID. You can use accommodations when voting. Okay, very important. All right, so we don't have anything left in poll workers, but we do have two left in civic engagement. We have $300 and we have $500 in civic engagement. Vote laws, we have 300 and 500, and vote information, we have 200 and 400. All right? Who wants to pick?
Vote information for 400.
Vote information for 400. Go ahead.
Okay, so the question is, can you vote under limited guardianship in Arizona? Yes or no? So we have 4A so far. Or wait, no, sorry, 1A.
1A, okay. Anybody got any questions? Not sure.
So you have two A's now.
All right. So let's give them the answer.
So
The
what is
answer
yes?
Yes. In Arizona, you can vote under limited guardianship. So if you are a young person and you and your parents or someone's discussing about becoming your guardian, you can go before the judge and the judge can say, okay, there's a process. I'm going to let you vote. And that's how that works. or if you're a person with a disability and you feel like you have a guardian, but you are able to vote and you want that to be revisited, you can do that with the person who's your guardian. So the answer is yes, you can vote in Arizona on a limited guardianship. And remember, when you turn 18, you have the right to vote unless courts take away your rights to vote. Very important, okay? When you turn 18, you automatically have the right to vote unless the court has taken your right away to vote. All right, next one, Bill. How are we doing on time, Juliana? 2 minutes? Okay.
Yes, I think she's trying to say 20 minutes. I don't know if she can.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're trying. Yes. Okay. All right. So we have 2 left in civil engagement. We have 300 in civic engagement, 500 in civic engagement, vote laws, 300 and 500 in vote laws, and we have 200 in vote information.
So they vote information for 200.
Over. Yeah, there you go.
So the question is, all polling locations must have accessible voting equipment. True or false? So we have 2 A's, 3,
All right, Bill, let's give the answer.
so we have what is true.
Okay. So all vote centers must have accessible voting equipment. That accessible voting equipment must be on and working. And the people who are at the polling location need to understand how to work the voting equipment. Okay, very important. Has anyone on this in its training ever used an accessible voting equipment? Bill, you use it? Anyone else ever used accessible voting equipment? Julianne. All right. So one of the things that's and most people they do a mail-in voting in Arizona. A lot of people do their mail-in voting in Arizona. That's correct. So one of the things to keep in mind, if you have never used accessible voting equipment and you're a little concerned that you don't know how to use it, call your county election department and see if there's any way that they can do a demonstration on that equipment before the election so you feel comfortable. Or some election officials will have videos on how to use the accessible voting equipment. So if you got any questions about the voting equipment or how they run elections, reach out to your counties. Remember, your counties run your elections. Maricopa County runs the elections for citizens of Maricopa County. Pima County runs for those people that live in Pima County. So Coconina County for those that live in Coconina County. So that's how that works. Okay. All right, Bill.
Yeah, we
Next
have
one.
our video for the Maricopa County accessible voting machine and how to set it up and how to use it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's important. If counties don't have that, you might want to call your counties and see if they can make that available and produce a video of that equipment on how to use it. All right. All right. So we have nothing left in poll workers, but we have 2 left in civic engagement. We have $300, $500 in civic engagement. In vote laws, we have 300 and 500, and we have nothing left in vote information. So we have 2 categories left now, civic engagement, vote laws. We both have 300 and 500 in each one of those categories. So, all
So we have
right,
law.
Austin.
Oh, all right. So the question is, may a convicted felon vote if their rights have not or have been restored? Sorry. Yes or no?
May a convicted felon vote if their rights have been
Yes.
restored? Okay, Alton says yes. Isabella says yes. Who else? Anybody else? The answer, let's see that, Bill. The
What
answer,
is yes?
what is yes? The answer is yes. Now, keep this in mind. There are people who've committed a felon, but they have not had their rights restored. There's a process in Arizona, and there's organizations that can help you get your voting rights back. So if you know anyone that's a felon, they can do some research and find out what agencies or organizations that can help them and what's the process of getting their voting rights back if they are a convicted felon. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Thank you. Next one, Bill. All right. So we have civic engagement. We have 300 and 500. And vote laws, we have 300. That's all we have left. So we have three left.
Engagement for 500.
All right. Civic engagement for 500.
So the question is, what time does voting begin and end on election day here in Arizona? We have A, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have B, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. C is 12 a.m. to 12 p.m.
We have B. Isabella says
We have
B.
two B's.
Got two B's. Okay. B. Okay. I still got B. Okay. And what is the right answer, Bill?
So the right answer is when is 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay. Very important, everyone. So one of the things that we would encourage you for best practices, if you are voting, please don't show up at the polling location at 6:55, okay? 5 minutes before it's closed. You want to vote early and often. Yes, you have the right to show up at 6:55, but in case you have any problems, remember at 7 o'clock. Now, if you're in line, let's say if there's a long line, right? And you're sitting in line and 7 o'clock come, can you vote? The answer is yes, as long as you are in line at 7 o'clock. Okay, very important. All right, next question, Bill. So we have civic engagement, we have $300 left. And in vote laws, we have $300 left also.
Civil, we have civil engagement for 300.
300, Andrew.
Civic.
Okay.
Why do I keep on saying civil?
Mhm.
Keep on saying. All right. So the question is, when is the next general election? We have A, 2026. We have B, 2024. C, 2025.
We have Bs. I think I saw a couple Bs go there, Bill. Bill?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. We
So
got B?
four,
Okay. The
four
answer
Bs.
is 2024. I'm glad you guys know that, right? That's next year is our next general election. Okay. In Arizona, I know we're going to have a Senate race. I do believe in Arizona in 2024, and I think some other races. I don't know what they are. Okay. Next, Bill, we
I
have
think we just,
one more.
yeah.
Vote laws for 300.
All right. The final question, can you register to vote online in Arizona? True or false? We have some A's.
Okay. The answer is, go ahead, Bill.
The answer is what is true, and it's called Service Arizona.
That is correct. Yeah, Cecily, you are correct. It's online. It's called Service Arizona. So you can go to Service Arizona and get a driving license, or you can get a state-sponsored ID, or you can update all your voter registration information on Service ID. So it looks like somebody used Service Arizona. Somebody said they used Service Arizona? Is that correct, Bill? In the chat?
Says I have, you've done it, and so had a, oh, so yeah, so someone, yes, someone has, Austin has done it.
Okay. So, yeah, was it easy for you, if you don't mind saying how using Service Arizona? Was it easy? Okay. But it was a while ago. All right, thanks, guys. All right. How much more time do we have, Juliana?
We have about 9 minutes to go ahead and close this session. So if you want to ask for
Let's-
questions.
Yeah, anybody have any questions? Any questions? So I want to encourage, if no one has any questions, I would encourage everyone that's on in this training today. We have an Arizona Disability Voter Coalition group that we've been together for many years. Bill is a part of it. Juliana is a part of it. So it's a group that we meet maybe a couple times a year. We do projects together, and we've worked together for many, many years. And we've made some really good improvements in Arizona for voters with disabilities. So if you're interested, you have Bill's information, Juliana's information, says, hey, I'm interested in being part of the Arizona Disability Voter Coalition. And so that's a good thing. There's a question I see in the chat. What was the question? I'm sorry, let me go to the chat.
So the question is, where did you say we could go get the requests or learn about voting accessibility?
So if you have questions about, you want to vote, you're going to be voting and you're in your county, I would go to your county elections department. So if you're in Pima County Elections Department, Coconino County, those individuals will tell you, give you a good example. There's this thing called the Special Election Board that's ran by your counties. If you're sick and you're not able to get out and vote, you can call and make an appointment and have two people come to you and help you cast your ballot. That's called the Special Election Board. You can ask for large print ballots. All of that information is done at your county election officials, and you want to do that earlier. I did see we need a group like this in Utah. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. So which group are you talking about in Utah? Are you talking about the self-advocacy group today or the Arizona Disability Voter Coalition group? Just kind of clarification. I think that came from Jesse Lee. Okay.
All the
All
above.
all the above. Yeah, we've had our Arizona Disability Voter Coalition together, Juliana, for what? Maybe 7 years working together. We've done
Yeah.
trainings, demonstrations. We talk directly with our election officials from the Secretary of State, cleaning elections, our county election officials. We have a really good, strong working relationship in Arizona with our election officials around voters with disabilities, and we can continue to work with our election officials. It's not perfect, but we're there to talk with them and to address any issues and provide resources and support. And also, if they push back, we push back too. So, but we like to work with our election officials in Arizona. Okay? There was a question, Julianne, you can see we need more webinars online that people can join and learn. Thank you. This is a great opportunity. It's on Saturday when most people aren't working, and they are recording it. Juliana, this will be available for those who can't come today at some point, correct?
Yes, we'll have this recording available on the swifamilies.org website under the conference section.
Okay. Any more questions, guys, before we go? So if you have questions about your voting rights, Bill, if you don't mind, Juliana, just type in, let me go ahead and type my um, email in the chat.
Yes, so yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to us and we can help you out with that. I see that Austin has shared some resources. Great. If we can share those with Ronaldo, that'll be great. We are always happy to present the voting information like this and other ways using our tools to all types of groups. They can be classrooms, they can be self-advocacy groups or clubs. We just want to make sure that people with disabilities have good information and that way that they can make informed choices.
All right, guys. Anything else before we go? Thank you. I'm glad we wanted to do something different in a training format rather than just come here and just talk, talk, talk. We want to interact with you. So let us know if you think this was helpful. Thank you, Austin. So this is a little different format. We always try to do some different things. This is all part of our Arizona Disability Voter Coalition, Southwest Self Advocates. We're always looking to improve voting rights and access to voting for all of Arizona and even for our friends in Utah too. Okay.